So the inclusion class is one of the classes I'm actually in every day, Mod 1. We have a couple of our behavior learning support students in that class, and my teacher is the special educator. She goes in, my mentor, she goes in and co-teaches with the general educator. There's also a one-on-one in there for a student who I believe has Down syndrome, and there's a additional adult assistant who works with the behavior learning supports. And then on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm there too. So there's a lot of adults in that room. They have a lot of support, not just the students with the IEPs, but also the traditional learners in the classroom. They have so many supports, and it's different. I never saw inclusion when I was in school. So it's interesting to see how these students with IEPs and who are learning differently than their typical peers are in the classroom learning with them. And it's really, really phenomenal. I love that the general educator never really singles them out at all. You would never know that they have IEPs unless they would want you to. They're just a part of the class. They're held to the same standards. They're held to the same expectations. And they fit in very well. They're able to do the material. So, of course, that's why they're in there. And so basically, the co-teaching works great. My mentor teacher, the special educator, she obviously targets her students, the behavior learning support students. So she works a lot with them one-on-one, making sure that they're just on the right page, that they're on task, that they're paying attention, and that because a lot of times they know the answer, but they're a little bit shy. So she helps them. She encourages them to raise their hand and participate in the lesson. And it's really great. They're doing really great in there. We don't ever really have too many behavior problems out of them. So again, maybe being in that setting is taking away from that disability. I don't know, but they do really well. They are learning the material really well, and it's just great to have both the teachers in there, because while one teacher is presenting the main content of the lesson, the other teacher is able to provide the student with their accommodations. And if she ever needs, if one of the students I feel like is kind of falling behind, she'll say, Stephanie, go scribe. So I'll go and scribe for the student and just make sure that they're on task and that they're not falling behind. But they have their behavior point sheets that they have in there, so they're held to their behavior goals that they have within the behavior learning support program, but they're in the classroom and they're doing the regular classroom work, and they have all the supports that they need. It's much better having them in that setting than an adaptive learning setting, because they don't need the adaptive learning setting. I think being around their typical peers is what actually is toning down the behaviors, and it's toning down the disability, and it's really helping them apply themselves. I mean, the other day I was looking at the first quarter board, and a lot of the students were in the top 5% of the class, and a lot of them were in the honor roll or in the homework club, which I guess means that they're submitting their homework all the time. So I'm really proud of them. My mentor teacher is really proud of them because she did work with them self-contained last year. So it's awesome to see inclusion really working, because I hear so much about it and we talk so much about it, but it's actually happening. So I'm excited for that when I start teaching.